What's good, guys? Dylanknowsball here. I'm back with a new kind of video today. No physical cards will be shown in this video, but we're just going to be talking hoops. That's what I want to do here on this channel. Selection Sunday is just under 6 weeks away, and that means we're prepping for 2025 Bowman. It doesn't have a release date yet, but the preview is out on Topps website, so it should be coming soon. If Topps has any, or Fanatics, Topps and Fanatics, if they have any brand at all, they'll get this product released before Selection Sunday, and I think they will. I have faith. So I want to talk about 5 guys today, underrated guys, not your Cooper Flagg, your Ace Bailey, your Dylan Harper, your one and dones going to the NBA. Obviously, they're great chases. Or even your girls, your Jujus or your Pages. I want 5 underrated guys I want to see in this checklist that I think will be returning to school next year and will be making money off of them all year long. So I tried to pick 5 guys. They're all guards. All of them are underclassmen except for one, but they can all return next year. I picked guys that have no previous cards, so no Leaf cards or no Prism draft cards, guys from a wide variety of schools and divisions. And I just want to get into it, y'all. I've really been dying to talk about these guys. These are guys that have impressed me all year long. So yeah, let's get into it. So this is going to go in descending order. So the first guy I talk about is going to be like, First guy I talk about is going to be like my least favorite, and then number 1 is going to be who I want to see the most. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to be looking at my screen over here to just get a reference. But starting it off, freshman guard from Ohio State, John Mobley Jr. Now, this guy was super impressive to me. I was first put on John Mobley in the first game of the season. It was a late night. I think they were playing in Vegas against A&M, and this kid comes off the bench as a freshman, and he just does not lack confidence, man. He will shoot that ball from anywhere, and I was immediately impressed. John Mobley's averaging 12.6 points per game this year. He's from Ohio, which I love. I love those local ties. It means they're less likely to hit the portal. But he's 6'1", 175, so not a huge guy. But like I said, a freshman, he's shooting 40.7% from 3 this year, guys. This kid is a sniper, right? Walks into rec hall last week. I'm there watching Penn State play, sadly, because they've been terrible. But John Mobley walks into rec hall last week, drops a cool 19 points, 5 boards, and 8 assists on PSU's head. Ace Baldwin was taking Bruce Thornton out of the game. They were kind of canceling each other out. 2 great point guards. So John Mobley steps up, shoulders the load, and led Ohio State to a win over the Nittany Lions. And he's just so impressive, right? He shoots the ball off the catch from anywhere you'd like. Like, this kid's got unlimited range. Can hit it off the dribble too, but can get in the paint, create for others. Like I said, 8 assists. I read a mock draft the other day that has him going in the 2nd round. Now, like I said, I tried to pick guys that aren't for sure things going to the league. But obviously, it's going to be tough to make money off of these guys that don't have any NBA upside. These career college guards or college players, it's tough to make money off them. So we want guys that have a little bit of NBA upside, but trying to come back to college for another year. So it's kind of tough, but I think John Mobley has that potential, and I really like him going into next year at Ohio State. Bruce is going to be a senior. They got a couple upperclassmen guards that should be walking away. He can really step into that role, and I think Ohio State could be dangerous. Not only next year, but this year. We're heating up. Should be able to make the tournament, so we'll see what goes into it there. But yeah, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. But yeah, maybe the guy I'm confident out of all these dudes will make the checklist, because Ohio State obviously is one of the biggest brands in the country. Last year's Bowman U checklist, they put 3 freshmen in there. Devin Royal, who if you follow me on X and Instagram is one of my favorite dudes. Tayson Chapman, and Scotty Middleton. All of them were freshmen on Ohio State that made the checklist. So I'm confident that they get John Mobley in this year. But let's move on to number 4 here. Number 4 is going to be Josh Hubbard. Josh Hubbard is a guard from Mississippi State. Again, Mississippi kid, local kid. We love those ties, right? He's a small guy, 5'11", 190 pounds. But this guy can light it up. Just like John Mobley, does not lack the confidence. But unlike John Mobley, he is the key, the heart and soul to this Mississippi State team. Mississippi State is a mid-level SEC team right now. They should be making the tournament, although they're kind of trending in the wrong direction right now as this video is being recorded. So hopefully they can get that back up. But Josh Hubbard, man, only a sophomore. This kid just dropped 38 points on Bama, right? This guy can fill it up. He's the type of guy that'll go out there and score 33 points in a tournament game and make 7 threes, and all of a sudden his prices are going to double. So if he gets in this checklist, and this checklist comes out before the tournament starts, of all 5 of these guys, he's the one I'm the most confident in that could see the biggest short-range jump but don't let it fool you. He's going to be a junior next year. He's going to want to take over the SEC and be that first-team SEC point guard with a couple of those guys leaving, like Zakai Ziegler and Mark Sears, and I think he has the potential. So Josh Hubbard, he can fill it up. Know the name. Let's hope he gets in this checklist, right? Number 3, going back to a freshman. This is a guy that I knew about, but I just really watched closely for the first time the other day, and I tell you what, man, I was impressed, and that is Rob Wright from Baylor. Those of you that don't know, obviously I'm a Penn State student, but I grew up liking Kansas basketball. I watched Kansas since I've been a little kid. Frank Mason is one of my favorite athletes of all time, and I love Kansas, right? I was watching them play Baylor the other day. They got out to a 21-point lead, right? They did not look good for Baylor. VJ Edgecombe goes down. They're like, okay, where are we going to get this scoring from? Jeremy Roach had already been hurt. And Rob Wright comes off the bench and comes out and takes some names, man. He had 24 points and 6 assists, in that comeback win. I was so impressed. He's averaging 13 and 5 for the year, and he is going to be a star next year. Fran Fraschilla was talking about how he just thinks he's going to be an All-American candidate next year with Baylor. With Jeremy Roach gone, I think Scott Drew is one of the best coaches in the country, and I think that Baylor is just a program that thrives with guards, man. I mean, you look at guys like Keontae George. I heard he's killing it in the league. He was a one and done. I mean, guys they've just really put a lot of dudes in the league, point guards, but also off-ball guards as well, like good defenders, Davion Mitchell. So if Rob Wright can really develop his game, he's going to be an NBA player for years to come. So I don't think he has a ton of draft buzz right now, so I think that he would be a perfect candidate to be in this checklist. I'm trying to think, Baylor put Miro Little in the set last year. They put LJ Cryer in there before he went to Houston. So they've got some history putting some guys in the set. So we'll see. But yeah, fun fact about Rob Wright too, before I move on. Played high school at Montverde, you guys know. Cooper Flagg, Liam McNeely, Derek Queen. So this guy is no stranger to sharing the floor with top-end talent and winning. But now, next year, he gets the keys. Could be some big moves. 2 dudes left. Another freshman. Talk about a kid that I've been impressed with. I've been impressed with him a little bit more for a longer period, and that is LeBaron Philon. Again, Mobile, Alabama kid. We love these local ties, guys. Come on. We love these local ties. 6'4", 177. Bigger guard. Got to put some meat on his bones. You know he'll get there in that second year. But he's averaging 10.5 points per game on 45% shooting off the bench as a freshman for a top 5-10 team in the country right now. I'm a huge Nate Oates fan. I think Alabama can get back to that Final Four like they did last year, and they just got an absolute plethora of guys that contribute. Obviously, everybody knows your Mark Searses and your Grant Nelsons, but obviously you add Big Cliff in the portal this year, add Aiden Holloway, who's really started to put together, Chris Youngblood. This is all without Latrell Wrightsell too, so Alabama can be dangerous. You know they can score in bunches, and LeBaron Philon is so impressive. I watched that game where Alabama went into Rupp and won a few weekends ago, and he was so impressive. He had 15, 4, and 4. And he was just getting it done. Provided spark off the bench, got to the cup, had an and-1, made a 3. He was just super impressive to me. And as a former guy that was committed to Kansas and left from all those guards, came to Kansas via the portal last offseason, it hurts me to see him doing this well. But LeBaron Philon, know the name. The only thing about LeBaron Philon, as opposed to these other guys, he is a late first-round projection right now, so that is something to keep an eye on. Obviously, if he goes to the league, all right, no harm, no foul. We can still make money off his cards if they're there. But just something to keep an eye on. Talking about Bama putting guys in the set, obviously Mark Sears was in last year's set. Bama is a huge brand, just as a college, just like Ohio State. I think there's a realistic chance they put LeBaron Philon in this set as well. So, and the number 1 guy that I want to see in this set so bad, this guy is a hooper, man. Not a big school guy like you guys, like a lot of these other guys. But if you guys know who Donovan Dent is, you know this guy can fill it up, right? Should be an All-American this year. Junior point guard from the University of New Mexico. You'll be like, Dylan, why are we talking about New Mexico, right? Because they are one of the best mid-major programs in the country, led by Richard Pitino, son of Rick, yes. And this New Mexico team was a trendy upset pick in last year's tournament. But they lost in the first round. Donovan Dent was the starting point guard as a sophomore. But they lose a whole bunch of production. Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn Jr., JT Toppin. So it's like, okay, how are they going to look this year? Oh, nothing. Just a calm 18-4 and in range for an at-large bid, because Donovan Dent is averaging almost 20 points a game and almost 7 assists while shooting 50%, guys, in one of the best mid-major conferences in the whole country, the Mountain West. Donovan Dent has a chance to be not only an All-American this year, but one of the best players in the entire country next year. If he stays with New Mexico, They're still probably going to be a top 20 team in the preseason poll next year. But if he transfers, hits the portal, you guys know those big money SEC schools and those blue bloods will be after this guy's name. And I don't usually like transfer cards, but if Donovan Dent hits the portal and goes to one of these big schools, his cards will command a premium. So of all these guys, he's probably the one that I'm worried the most will actually be in the set because of this small school. But he's the best player on this list, and I need him in this set so bad. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. There's 5 guys that I really like that I hope are in the set. If you want to see more videos like this, just talking ball, I know it's a different kind of video. Let me know in the comments what else you want to see going forward. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.